Hello, I'm Father David Carter, and I'm glad you're watching this video, which is going to highlight a wonderful opportunity for us here at the parish, the Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul. We are grateful for the many years of service that Monsignor George Schmidt gave to this beautiful parish. Over the almost 30 years of his tenure, he was able to accomplish so many wonderful things. Look at the church. The beauty of the interior of the church, the beauty of the repairs that have gone on there, and the renovations and restorations. The organ itself is a priceless gift to our sacred music that Monsignor Schmidt oversaw. Also, our religious education building, which is the old convent, restored and renovated to make space for our young people to have religious education class. These are wonderful accomplishments that Monsignor Schmidt was able to do over his almost 30 years in this parish. But the one thing that was left undone in all of those years was the place where the priests live. And that shows the great character and priority of Monsignor George and his leadership. He wanted to take care of his people. But in the meanwhile, one of the things that was left undone was the care of his own living environment.
Good morning. My name is Mary Hertel. I am president of the Women's Guild here at the Basilica. I have also been fortunately given the job of helping to do the restoration of the rectory. One of the main reasons why we want to do this restoration is this is an asset to the church. It's an asset that has been taken care of over the years, but now we're at a point that taking care of it needs to be a renovation.
It's a restoration, a repair, a renovation that on all accounts is one that's due. Everyone that comes into the rectory, the priest house, and has gone upstairs has expressed their sentiment that we need this to be our next project.
My name is Mary Cooper, and I'm Vice President of the Women's Guild. And this is Debbie Buckley and Christina Bello. After you've gone through here and you've seen the condition of the rectory, what is your opinion?
Today's my first day to come to the rectory to help the ladies. And Father George has always put our parish ahead of everything else, and this was always his goal to also get this building taken care of. It's now time to do that and to fulfill a dream for Father George, and he lived very humbly, and with that it's time to make some changes and work to bring this building up to standard. And I think the ladies are working greatly to get that done. And with your help, we can continue to do that.
I have been here all week. I think we found we had to jump right in. Once we were talking about it, we saw things that we could immediately start doing to clear away Father Burton's things and Monsignor George's things, and his brother Warren was down to take what the family would want. And with all that going on, it just seemed a natural progression. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do so that we can make way to make our rectory a wonderful place for our priests to live, because they're here to serve us, and we need to make sure, that they're comfortable and safe.
Okay, after I went through the initial walkthrough, we found some of the ceilings were coming down. There was quite a bit of mold around the vents, and things that if you've seen it, you would not believe that they were so apt to live like this just because they didn't have time for it.
It's not merely a matter of redecorating and changing the paint colors. as anybody that has been through the rectory could attest. That's why I've invited you to come along and to see what is here present, and to think about Monsignor George's legacy and the next project that would have been on his plan, to invite you to take up the baton where it was left off, and let's move to the future, and to make a house for the priests and the future clergy that will live here sustainable, environmentally friendly, and also a healthy place to live.
I realize, because I have a brother-in-law that's a priest, that these gentlemen take vows of poverty and religious vows that are very important to them and to us as the parishioners. We have to make sure that these men are living in an environment that, number one, is a healthy environment. We are looking at renovation with all of the infrastructure, as far as the electric, the plumbing, the heat and air systems, the insulation system, everything that goes on inside the walls of this building. The building itself is a huge asset to the campus of the church, and to be able to maintain this asset, we're at a stage in the game now that these issues have got to be addressed.
So many years ago, the roof was finally replaced, a roof that had leaked severely and had problems, and so we're grateful for a new roof. But it left severe water damage on our ceiling that is in desperate need of repair. You can see where the plaster has fallen down and the roof has caved in certain places. There's major work that needs to be done.
The mold issues that we have in the building are not the deathly ill type of mold issues, but they are mold issues that have got to be addressed.
Also, when it comes to the electrical system in the house, it's in desperate need of overhaul, in that many of the electrical outlets are not grounded, posing a significant safety hazard. Some of the electrical work is also somewhat original from a house that's from 1917. That's a significant statement that needs to be addressed.
Well, and because of the age of the building, they had to retrofit things like dishwashers, washers and dryers, telephones, cables for internet connection. So when you get that kind of mishmash going on, it just generally creates havoc in every room.
Another of the problems that will need to be addressed in our repair and renovation of the rectory is the piping and plumbing system. Oftentimes you can turn the faucet on that hasn't been turned on for a while, and brown water comes out, indicating there's rust in the pipes. There's also other issues that have to be addressed with our plumbing, which is going to be a major undertaking.
There's a lot of leaks, and
The plumbing.
the plumbing needs, things need to be repaired. I mean, it's something that everybody in the parish needs to see. They need to see why this needs to be done.
Another area of concern for us is our air conditioning and heating. It was installed to take the place of the boiler system, but even when it was installed, was not perhaps the most energy efficient. What we have is an opportunity ahead of us to make the insulation, air conditioning ducts, and system the most energy efficient that it can be, which would save us money as well as be environmentally friendly for years to come, to make the carbon footprint of our rectory as little as it can be.
Obviously, there's a lot of thought process going into this renovation. Again, we are taking into account the fact that we're going to try and get this building as energy efficient as possible. One of the things that we want to maintain in this building is the character of the building and the appropriateness of what we do inside the building to the age of the building. And the way that we want to address these issues now is to do this in a manner that 6 months from now, we're not tearing out a wall because we didn't do the plumbing properly. That we're not tearing out a wall again for, I don't know how many times it's already been done, because we didn't do the electric up to code. You know, they are human beings just like all the rest of us. They meaning the priests. Just like all the rest of us. They have family. They'd like to be able to spend time with their families, have their families come and visit. And they can't do that now. So that's one of the things that we're going to do, is make this a home.
It's just become a big job.
You know, and the building is built in 1917. So the repair on it is going to be great. I mean, that's just obvious. So, and if there's anybody out there willing to come in and lend a hand, we will be glad to accept your help.
Yeah.
I feel deeply about this project to get this building where it is safe for these men to live. I hope that everyone realizes that this is not a come in and make this building, or the other buildings that are on the campus. This is not a come in and make this building pretty and let's spend a lot of money. This is an issue. I just want to make sure that everyone understands this. This is a quality of life issue. This is also a restoration issue of the assets that we have on the property. Thanks so much.
So there are many areas that need to be addressed as far as repair, renovation, and restoration of this venerable old building, so that it would be viable for the clergy of our parish for the years to come, and that it might be a place where the parish can feel a sense of accomplishment and of legitimate pride, that we have wonderful facilities all around. And so I invite you to be a part of this, and we are grateful for your support of this very important project. The time for the renovation and restoration of the rectory is now. God bless.